Chapter 32. The Rise of Tunwil. The air shimmered with tension as Decima pressed her hands to the ancient tree's bark, the twisted wood groaning beneath her touch. The curse clung to the roots, a dark pulsing presence that refused to let go. Her breath trembled, the pendant glowing hot against her chest. Daniel stood a few steps behind her, fists clenched at his sides, watching as her magic flared and sparked, the ground beneath them vibrating like a drumbeat. He could feel it, the pull, the fire, the hum of something ancient threading through the earth. It wasn't just Decima's magic, it was something else. The wind shifted, sharp and sudden, cutting through the clearing like a blade. Decima cried out, the force knocking her back. Daniel lunged forward, catching her, but the moment his hands closed around her, the ground beneath them split open, cracks racing outward like lightning. A roar shattered the air. Daniel's breath hitched, his eyes wide as the trees around them bent, branches bowing under an unseen weight. And then it came. A shape, massive, powerful, burning with light, burst from the earth in a shower of flame and smoke. Wings unfurled, dark as obsidian, edges glowing red-hot like molten steel. Scales shimmered in the flickering light, catching the fire in their grooves. Eyes blazed gold, locking onto Daniel's with a force that stole the air from his lungs. Daniel stumbled back, his heart racing so hard it hurt. The dragon let out a low, rumbling growl, smoke curling from its nostrils as it stepped closer. Slow, deliberate, each movement thrumming with restrained power. Daniel couldn't breathe, couldn't move, could only stare. The dragon lowered its head, exhaling a breath of heat that sent the leaves trembling around them. And then, as if the world tilted, he knew. Not with words, not with logic, but with a deep, searing certainty in his bones. This dragon was his soul, his fire, bond forged not in blood but in something older, deeper. Decima's voice was a breathless whisper behind him. Daniel? But he couldn't look at her, couldn't look away from the creature before him. The dragon stepped closer, wings folding in, its presence filling the clearing. Its head dipped low and Daniel felt it, a pulse, like a heartbeat matching his own. His hand moved on instinct, reaching out. Fingers met scales, hot, alive, thrumming with energy. The bond snapped into place. Daniel gasped, staggering back. But the dragon didn't vanish. It stayed, watching, waiting. Decima stepped closer, her voice soft, awed. Tunwil? The name fell from her lips without thought, without hesitation. Daniel's breath caught. He felt it too. The name, the truth of it, echoing in his mind like a distant memory. Tunwil, firelight, his dragon, his bond, his magic. Daniel's chest rose and fell in sharp, ragged breaths. His fingers trembled where they hovered in the air. The warmth of Tunwil's scales still pulsing through his skin like an aftershock. The dragon, his dragon, watched him with eyes like molten gold, steady and unwavering, as if waiting for him to truly understand what had just happened. Decima's voice was barely a breath, but it cracked through the stillness like a spark. Daniel, it's you. It's always been you. He turned slowly, his gaze finding hers. Her eyes were wide, shimmering with tears that caught the flicker of firelight. Daniel started, but the words failed him. He could barely form a thought, let alone a sentence. Decima stepped closer, her breath shaky, her hands hovering near the dragon's flank. Her magic thrummed in the air, resonating with the low hum of Tunwil's presence. He's part of you, she whispered, her voice full of awe. Just like the pull in the woods, like the archway. It wasn't just me, Daniel. It was us, all of it. The realization settled in the air between them, heavy as the heat from the dragon's breath. Daniel's jaw tensed. His heart was hammering so loud it drowned out everything else. He didn't know how to explain the deep, aching sense of recognition in his chest, the certainty that this creature had always been a part of him, even if he'd never seen it before. Tunwil let out a slow, rumbling growl, low, almost soothing. Smoke curled from his nostrils, and the glow of his scales pulsed once, as if in time with Daniel's own heartbeat. Decima reached for Daniel's hand. Their fingers brushed, and the magic snapped between them like a crack of thunder. White-hot and wild, alive and dangerous. They both gasped, stepping back slightly, but neither let go. The cursed trees around them shifted, the twisted branches groaning as if they, too, had felt the surge of power. Decima's gaze darted to the roots, to the dark shimmer of magic still pulsing there. The curse hadn't lifted, not yet. but it had weakened. She could feel it, as if the forest itself were holding its breath, waiting. The pendant at her neck flared with light, the hum inside her growing louder. Daniel's breath caught, and his hand went to his chest. "I can feel it," he whispered, his voice raw, the words torn from him like a confession. "The fire. It's in me." Decima nodded slowly, her throat tight with emotion. "Your dragon," she murmured. "Your bond." Daniel's eyes met hers, wide and dark and full of unspoken questions. "What does it mean?" Decima's voice was quiet but certain. "It means we were never meant to stand alone." For a long moment they stood in the hush of the clearing. Decima, Daniel, and the dragon between them. Then, softly, the dragon dipped its head, the golden eyes gleaming like molten coals. Daniel let out a slow, shaky breath. "It's done," he said quietly, almost to himself. But Decima felt the truth settle in her bones. No, it wasn't done. Not yet. This was only the beginning, and whatever came next, they would face it together.